before he leaves LAPD, and I've interviewed him about this multiple times.
Right.
He was investigating Keefe D, finds that he was running a PCP operation.
Right.
Comes to Keefe D's house and says, essentially, look, we know about your operation and we want to offer you some sort of deal. Come down and meet with us. And during that whole situation, his partner secretly recorded Keefe D and offered him a proffer agreement. Now, a proffer agreement, for those that don't know, means that tell us everything you know, in this case, about the Tupac murder, and whatever you say can't be used against you to prosecute you, as long as you're telling the truth, as long as we don't catch you in a bunch of lies. Now, if you choose to retell it later on, or if someone else is able to testify, whatever, then yeah, you can be prosecuted, but everything you say during these recorded statements cannot be used against you. That's the proffer. That's the queen for a day. You have a problem with him giving Keefe D a proffer.
From what? Big time. Because every time he does an interview, I learn a little bit more, because I was always under the impression when he gave him the proffer, this thing about Tupac's murder just came up. So, we couldn't tell Las Vegas about it. Well, your last interview with him, he interviewed him 3 separate times, weeks apart, right? So
he did multiple interviews with Keefe.
Right.
Hours of footage.
Weeks apart, if not months. Mm-hmm. These 3 interviews took place, okay? Yeah. So where I'm going with this is that I caught a lot of slack for, you don't even know what a proffer agreement is. You keep calling it an immunity agreement or whatever. It's like, okay, I said, hey, man, I'm not a lawyer. But riddle me this. If a guy cops out to one of the biggest murders around and doesn't get prosecuted for it, I mean, what is that? If he would have went to Florida and said, adios, I'm moving to Florida, and never said a word, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Correct.
Right? So you tell me. I mean, I know it's queen for a day, all that kind of stuff, but he copped out to a murder.
Yeah.
And nothing happened to him.
Right. When he also got off his drug case, which he was facing life for, essentially, or 25 years or something of that sort. I mean, in all the cases that you worked on, were you ever involved in proffers yourself?
We never used proffer. That's more, only a U.S. attorney could do that.
Ah, okay. So a regular Compton cop can't pull out a proffer.
No, it has to be done by the U.S. attorney.
It has to be a sign off and everything.
Right.
Okay.
So my whole problem with it, though, is him not notifying Las Vegas. This is like incomprehensible to me. I know that they worked on this murder for months because my partner Brennan found a weapon, okay, the .40 caliber Glock that was supposedly the murder weapon. And I gave you paperwork with that. And on that very end, they wrote a little paperwork. On the very end, it says, do not notify Las Vegas.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So Blondie, how did he find this weapon?
He was assigned to go look at back around the murder of Tupac, any .40 caliber Glocks that were recovered at Compton PD, because we had like 3,000 guns recovered during that time, right?
This was around 2006, during the Biggie Task Force.
That's correct.
Era. Got it.
Okay. So Tim notices a report that was at Corey Edwards, was there when Tupac got killed. He was a Southside Crip gang member. It was his girlfriend's house. Tim recognized the address.
Okay, wait. So Corey Edwards was in Las Vegas when Tupac got killed. But he wasn't in the car, though.
Right.
Okay.
He was there, though.
He was there.
And Tim notices the address. And what happened was there was a .40 caliber Glock buried in the backyard, and his dog dug it up and was running around the backyard with it in his mouth. And the dad called up, and they went out and recovered the gun. But the cops that went out there just say, hey, it's a found gun. They just booked it. But Tim noticed that, so they go have it checked against the casings found at the Tupac murder, and they said it matched.
Wait. So this gun that was found in Corey's backyard,
Yes.
they actually matched the casings to the casings found when Tupac got killed. So does that mean, how likely is it that this is the same gun when it comes to these types of testing?
It's very likely, and the mistakes aren't made that often. In this case, apparently there was a mistake made, but the initial ruling when the guy tested it against the casing, because it's entered in a NIBIN computer. It's where anytime a gun is used, they take casings or whatever, they put it in this computer in case, a gun was used somewhere else, they can link it up against each other. And that's what they did. And he said it was a positive match.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make here,
but you said a mistake was made. So was it not a positive match?
Well, it was a positive match. So Kading takes the gun out to Vegas later on, and they retest it, and they say it wasn't the gun.
Okay.
So apparently Kading, based on his statement, says he brought the gun back, and they rebooked it into evidence, and it was destroyed. It got destroyed, so we'll never know now. But the point I was trying to make was that they wrote up a little, memo saying that, hey, we found the gun, because they were all excited when it tested positive, right? So at the end of the memo, it says, do not notify Las Vegas PD.
Right. It says in this report, due to the sensitive nature of the weapon recovery and the potential to alert criminal conspirators by outside agency involvement, Assistant United States Attorney Tim Seawright, who has been assigned as a federal case prosecutor, has confirmed with superiors who agree with the task force detectives the information regarding the recovery of the firearm should not be shared with the Las Vegas Police Department.
Amen. So based on what happened with the proffer agreement, they worked on this murder from a different agency. It's not even their murder, okay? And he says, Kading says there's such things as professional courtesy. Professional courtesy I've done hundreds of times. When I'm sitting and interviewing you, you're a murder suspect, and you cop out to my murder, but you cop out to the murder in Inglewood or just say Inglewood. So I get off the phone, I get off interviewing you, I'm going to take your statement. You tell me about the murder in Inglewood. But as soon as I get out of the room, hey, Inglewood, this guy's copping out to your murder. You want to come down and interview, or I'll just write up what I got. It's up to you. It's your murder. That's professional courtesy. Mm-hmm. These guys have the audacity to work on someone else's murder without telling them for months. Think about this, though. I mean, general public don't care, but in the law enforcement world, it's outrageous, unbelievable. I don't even know if it's ever been done before, especially a high profile. I get pissed because it's a high profile murder. It's the biggest high profile murders in the last 30 years. And he doesn't even tell. He could have had plenty of time to get Vegas involved. Say, hey, if you don't want to get involved, I wouldn't be talking shit right now. But you have to get Las Vegas involved. Send somebody down. And to offer somebody a proffer agreement, it's unbelievable to me how this happened. And I'm telling you, he fucked up the case more than he helped it.